Look at this garden, completely full, overflowing with color from the front edge all the way to the back fence, flowers from spring through frost. And the wildest part? This entire bed started with less than a dozen plants, planted in April, just 2 years ago. No expensive landscaping, no professional help, no constant replanting every single season. Just 9 perennials that know exactly what they are doing and a little bit of patience. Now here's what most gardeners get wrong in April. They walk into the nursery, they grab whatever looks pretty that day, they throw it in the ground, and by midsummer they're staring at half-empty beds, patchy soil, and plant tags that can't even read anymore, wondering what happened. The truth is, not every perennial is built the same. Some sit there looking small and sad for years, barely moving, barely spreading, barely justifying the money you spent on them. And then there are these 9, the ones that actually run, the ones that spread boldly, fill in bare ground, and come back bigger and bolder every single season without you lifting much of a finger. These are not plants that tiptoe. These are plants that move, and that's exactly what your landscape needs. And number 1 on this list? I'm saving that for the very end, because it is genuinely the most underrated, fast-spreading perennial most gardeners have never even considered planting. It might change the way you think about your whole garden. You'll want to stay for that one. By the time this video is done, you will have a clear, confident list of 9 perennials you can go out and buy this month. Plants that are perfectly suited for April planting, that spread fast enough to give you real results even in year 1, and that will keep coming back, getting fuller, getting more beautiful for years and years without needing to be replaced. These are not theoretical garden suggestions. These are tried, tested, real-world performers that serious gardeners keep going back to for one simple reason: they work. They fill space, they look incredible, and they do not stop. If you're brand new to perennial gardening, this list is a perfect place to start. If you've been gardening for years, you might discover a plant or two here that genuinely surprises you. Either way, by the end of this video, your April planting plan is going to look completely different. If you're new to this channel, welcome. We're all about building a garden that actually earns its space in your yard. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming every single week. And let's get into it, starting with number 9. Plant number 9, creeping phlox. We're starting with number 9, and we're starting strong. Creeping phlox is one of those plants that looks almost too beautiful to be real when it's in full bloom. We're talking about a plant that hugs the ground, forms this dense, spreading carpet, and then in early spring absolutely explodes with flowers. Pink, purple, white, lavender, it's a solid wall of color that stops people in their tracks. And here's why it earns its spot on this list. Creeping phlox spreads steadily outward every single year. You plant one small container in April, it establishes through the warm months, and by the following spring, you'll see it has reached out noticeably in every direction. Give it 3 years, and one plant becomes a wide, sweeping mat that covers bare soil, cascades over rocks and retaining walls, and chokes out weeds underneath it as it goes. It loves full sun and well-drained soil. It's drought-tolerant once it gets going, and it barely needs any attention. After the bloom fades in late spring, give it a light trim, just enough to tidy it up, and it'll stay dense and fresh-looking through the rest of the season. The foliage stays semi-evergreen in a lot of zones, so you're getting something to look at almost year-round. If you have a slope, an embankment, a rock garden, or just an area where things have always struggled to grow, creeping phlox is your answer. Plant it in April, watch it anchor itself, and let it do what it does. Plant number 8, Ajuga, or bugleweed. Number 8 is for every gardener who has a shady corner they have no idea what to do with. Ajuga, sometimes called bugleweed, is one of the most aggressively spreading ground covers you can legally put in your yard, and I mean that as the highest possible compliment. This plant does not mess around. It sends out runners in all directions, puts down roots wherever those runners touch soil, and within one growing season you can go from a small handful of plants to a full, lush mat of striking foliage covering a significant chunk of ground. The leaves are where the real magic is. Depending on the variety you choose, the foliage can range from deep burgundy and chocolate bronze to bright green and even a stunning tricolor of green, pink, and cream. It's not just a filler plant, it's an actual design feature that makes beds look curated and intentional. And then in spring, these short little spikes shoot up, covered in tiny deep blue or purple flowers that are absolutely beloved by pollinators. Bees find this plant irresistible. So you're getting ground coverage, aggressive weed suppression, beautiful foliage all season long, and a pollinator magnet, all from the same plant that costs a few dollars at the nursery. Ajuga thrives in part shade to full shade, which makes it genuinely rare on this list. Most fast spreaders want sun. Ajuga goes where the sun does not. Plant it in April in those problem areas, under trees, along shaded fence lines, beside the house on the north side, or anywhere the grass is given up, and let it completely solve the problem for you. Plant number 7, Black-Eyed Susan. Number 7 is a classic for a reason, and that reason has everything to do with how enthusiastically it multiplies. Black-Eyed Susan, that bold golden yellow flower with the dark chocolate center, is one of the most cheerful plants you can put in a sunny border. It blooms from midsummer all the way through fall. It handles heat without complaint, and it attracts an incredible number of pollinators, from bees to butterflies to goldfinches who come for the seed heads. But what really makes it earn a spot on this list is what it does underground and in the soil around it. Black-Eyed Susan spreads two ways. It slowly expands through its root clumps each year, getting a little wider and fuller. And it self-seeds, often quite freely, meaning it drops seeds into the soil around it, and new plants pop up naturally nearby. Over 2 or 3 seasons, one small plant becomes a generous colony of them, filling a bed with golden color from late summer to frost. Plant them in April in full sun, give them good drainage, and essentially forget about them. They are drought-tolerant, they are resistant to most pests, and they are incredibly low maintenance. The seed heads left standing through winter also provide food for birds during the cold months, so you are building a tiny ecosystem in your garden just by planting these. If you are new to perennial gardening and you want something that rewards you fast without demanding much in return, Black-Eyed Susan is one of the smartest picks you can make this April. Plant number 6, Coneflower or Echinacea. Number 6 is one of the most interesting plants on this entire list because it is both a garden stop-shower and one of the most beloved medicinal plants in North America. Coneflower, or echinacea, produces these tall, proud, daisy-like flowers in rich shades of purple, pink, orange, red, and white, depending on the variety you choose. They bloom midsummer through fall, they stand upright and tall, and they add serious drama and height to any border. But that is not the real story here. The real story is the seed heads. After the petals fall, Coneflower leaves behind these spiky cone-shaped seed heads that are like a fast food restaurant for goldfinches and other seed-eating birds through autumn and winter. Leave them standing and you will have birds visiting constantly through the colder months. That alone makes Coneflower worth planting. Now for the spreading part. Echinacea self-seeds readily, very readily. Once a plant is established, it drops seeds into the soil around it, and those seeds germinate and grow into new plants the following season. After 2 or 3 years, what started as 2 or 3 plants can become an impressive naturalized drift of coneflowers that looks completely intentional and completely stunning. Plant them in April in full sun, give them good drainage, and do yourself a favor, do not deadhead every single flower. Leave some of those seed heads in place, let nature scatter them, and let your coneflower colony grow itself. Plant number 5, Catmint or Nepeta. Halfway through the list, and this is where things start getting seriously interesting. Number 5 is Catmint, and if you have never grown it, you are about to become obsessed with it. Catmint, or Nepeta, produces these long, arching wands of soft lavender blue flowers that bloom in absolute abundance from late spring all the way into summer. The flowers have this hazy, romantic quality to them, not stiff and formal, but loose and billowing, like something from a cottage garden painting. Pollinators are completely wild about it. Bees especially treat catmint like it is the only flower in the garden. Now here is where it gets even better. Catmint is deer-resistant, significantly, reliably deer-resistant. Deer tend to leave it completely alone because of its aromatic leaves. So, if you garden in an area where deer are a problem, if you have watched them walk through your yard and have a bite of everything you love, catmint is a plant you can put in the ground with confidence. As for spreading, catmint forms wide, mounding clumps that expand steadily each year. Trim it back by about half after the first big bloom flush in early summer, and it rewards you with a second round of flowers in late summer and early fall. So you get 2 seasons of bloom from one plant in a single year. It grows in full sun to part shade, it handles drought once established, and it asks almost nothing from you. Plant it along pathways, at the front of borders, or wherever you want that soft, flowing, effortlessly beautiful look. Plant number 4 is yarrow. Number 4 is a plant that has been in gardens for literally thousands of years, and there is a reason people keep coming back to it. Yarrow is one of the toughest, most adaptable perennials on Earth. It grows in poor soil, it laughs at drought, it does not mind heat, and it spreads through underground rhizomes at a very satisfying pace, gradually filling in more and more ground each season without ever asking for anything in return. The flowers are flat-topped clusters called umbels that come in a stunning range of colors. The species is yellow, but modern varieties give you white, red, deep pink, apricot, cream, and soft gold. The color range is genuinely impressive, and those flat flower heads are like landing pads for butterflies, hoverflies, and beneficial insects, the kind of insects that actually help control pests in your garden. Plant yarrow in April in full sun and well-drained soil, and then essentially walk away. It does not need rich soil, it does not need regular watering once it gets going, it does not need much fertilizer. In fact, too much fussing over yarrow makes it floppy and weak. This is a plant that thrives on a little bit of tough love. The feathery, ferny foliage stays attractive even when yarrow is not in bloom, so you're getting season-long visual interest. And if you cut the flowers, they dry beautifully for arrangements. Yarrow earns every inch of space it takes up in a garden. Plant number 3 is sedum, or stonecrop. We're in the top 3 now, and number 3 is one of the most versatile, unexpected, and genuinely useful plants on this entire list. Sedum, also called stonecrop, is actually a large family of plants, and the varieties that spread fast are the low-growing, ground-hugging types, like dragon's blood. These form dense, fleshy mats of succulent foliage that creep steadily outward, filling gaps between stones, covering dry slopes, and growing in conditions where almost nothing else will survive. Here's what makes sedum truly special. It is one of the most drought-tolerant perennials you can plant. Full sun, poor dry soil, rocky ground, sedum handles all of it without complaint. If you have a spot in your garden that's baking hot, has thin or rocky soil, and dries out completely in summer, sedum is quite literally the answer. The foliage is interesting and colorful on its own, often coming in shades of deep red, burgundy, green, and everything in between, but in late summer and fall, sedum produces clusters of star-shaped flowers that are a major draw for late-season pollinators. Butterflies and bees absolutely swarm the blooms. And when you leave the seed heads and stems standing through winter, they add texture and structure to the garden even in the coldest months, which is something most perennials simply cannot offer. Plant sedum in April, give it the sunniest, driest spot you have, and let it spread. By year 2, it'll be doing things that make your neighbors ask what it is. Plant number 2, Daylily. Number 2. We are almost at the reveal, but first you have to know about daylilies, because they might be the single most generous perennial you will ever plant. Daylilies multiply like nothing else in the garden. They grow in clumps of fans, each fan being an individual plant, and every single year those clumps get bigger, adding more fans, producing more blooms, taking up more beautiful space in the border. Within 3 or 4 years, one small division can become a massive, overflowing clump that needs to be divided and shared because it has grown so enthusiastically. The blooms are dramatic and abundant. Each individual flower lasts just 1 day, that is where the name comes from. But because each plant produces so many flower buds on tall scapes, the display continues for weeks. Depending on the variety, you can get blooms in yellow, orange, red, pink, purple, near white, and every shade in between. Some varieties rebloom later in the season, giving you a second flush of flowers in late summer. Daylilies grow in full sun to part shade. They are tolerant of drought once established, they handle poor soil better than most, they are essentially pest-free. And because they multiply so reliably and spread so confidently, you can start with a small investment and within just a few seasons have enough plants to fill an entire landscape bed or to dig up and give away to every gardener you know. Plant them in April, space them about 18 inches apart, water them in, and step back. Daylilies know what to do. All right, we made it to number 1. And if you have been gardening for a while, this might genuinely surprise you. Because the most underrated, most overlooked, most quietly extraordinary fast-spreading perennial for a lush landscape all year round is not a flower at all. It is Liriope. Sometimes called lily turf or monkey grass, and it changes the way your garden looks in every single season. Here's the thing about Liriope that most people miss. Every other plant on this list gives you something spectacular for part of the year. But Liriope gives you something valuable in every single month, in every single season, without exception. In spring, it pushes up fresh, clean, arching foliage that looks deliberately designed. In summer, it produces spikes of tiny purple or white flowers that pollinators visit steadily throughout the heat. In fall, those flowers transform into glossy black berries that birds love and pick through all winter long. And in winter, when everything else has gone brown and gone quiet and gone underground, Liriope is still standing there, green, dense, structured, full, giving your garden life and definition and visual interest when nothing else can manage it. It spreads through underground runners at a reliable, steady pace. Plant a few clumps along a border edge in April, and within 2 or 3 years, you will have a thick, continuous ribbon of deep green that lines the entire bed, defines the space with intention, and keeps weeds from getting any foothold at all. It handles shade beautifully. It handles drought without flinching. It grows in poor soil without complaint. It requires almost no maintenance beyond the occasional division when it gets too enthusiastic and starts crowding its neighbors. And here's the kicker. When you divide Liriope, you get free plants. Dig up a clump, pull it apart into sections, replant those sections somewhere else in the garden, and within one growing season, each section has filled back in completely. It is the plant that keeps multiplying and paying you back at the same time. Every garden needs structure. Every garden needs a plant that holds everything together across all 4 seasons, that gives definition and backbone to the beds even when nothing is blooming. Liriope is exactly that plant. It is the backbone of a landscape that looks intentional and lush and alive no matter what time of year someone stands at the end of your driveway and looks at it. That is why it is number 1. Nothing else on this list does what Liriope does, all year, every year, with so little asked of you. So, let us bring it all together real fast. Number 9, creeping phlox. Carpet of spring color, spreads into a mat, perfect for slopes, rock gardens, and retaining walls. Number 8, Ajuga, the shade problem solver that spreads fast, looks incredible, and handles the spots where nothing else will grow. Number 7, Black-Eyed Susan. Golden late summer blooms, self-seeds freely, brings birds and butterflies from summer all the way through fall. Number 6, Coneflower. Dramatic and tall, self-seeding season after season, and a wildlife magnet well into winter. Number 5, Catmint. 2 full blooming seasons in a single year, deer-resistant and absolutely irresistible to pollinators. Number 4, Yarrow. Drop-tough, flat flower clusters in a rainbow of colors, spreads underground without any extra effort from you. Number 3, Sedum. Succulent, nearly indestructible, gorgeous foliage all season and late season pollinator gold. Number 2, Daylily. Multiplies like crazy every single year, weeks of bold and dramatic blooms, nearly impossible to get wrong even for beginners. And number 1, Liriope, the 4-season backbone that your landscape absolutely cannot afford to be without. 9 plants, all of them perfectly suited for April, all of them fast spreading, all of them coming back bigger, fuller, and more beautiful every single year without needing to be replaced. Now, I want to hear from you. Which one of these are you planting first this April? Drop it in the comments right now. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know what your garden looks like and what you are working with. And if you want to take things even further, I made a video all about the best planting techniques for perennials, how deep to go, how to space them for the fastest possible spread, and the one soil preparation step that most gardeners completely skip. That video is on your screen right now. Go watch it. Your garden will absolutely thank you for it.